Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to lecture number 31 of the course Object Oriented Programming. In the previous lecture, we have seen example program, a linked list storage class, in which we write a code for a complete linked list class and then convert it into a template class, and then we insert or incorporate some exceptions. So a linked list is a list of node. So in the slide you can see a single node that contains two sections. That is a very simple node. A node can consist of multiple sections, but the important thing is that regardless of the data section, so इस जहाँ पर जो node show हो रही है इसमें एक data है, right? You can have multiple data, but there is a pointer that points to a next node, right? So for example, a node can represent a student record. एक student के record को represent कर सकती है. Then it includes student ID, student name, father name, CGPA, and all those things. So for the example, we take a simple node that just contains the data section, that is integer value, or when we convert it into the template, then it could be a floating point value as well. And then the second thing is the pointer that points to the next node. So we have a collection of nodes that are linked together through a pointer. So ये जो PTR pointer है, that is a member of every node, right? And the type of that pointer is a node pointer because it points to a structure. And then we have a pointer that may be called a first pointer or whatever name. And the type of that pointer is also a node because it points the first node of the list like this, right? And the last node's pointer PTR, the value of that pointer is null. This means that this is the last node in the list, right? So we have seen, so in this example we write a structure definition that contains data and node and the pointer next whose type is node. And what is the node? Node is this structure, struct node. So ये जो next pointer है, हर नोड का पार्ट होगा, हर नोड के दो पार्ट्स होंगे, डाटा एंड नेक्स्ट पॉइंटर की टाइप क्या है? नोड है. दिस मींस दैट पॉइंटर पॉइंट्स टू अ मेमोरी लोकेशन वेयर यू कैन स्टोर अ नोड टाइप डाटा. दिस इज द क्लास definition with the prototype of the function. So the only data member of the class linked list is the first pointer. The pointer name is first, type is node, right? So this means that this first pointer points to a memory location where you can store node, right? So this first pointer could be this pointer, the first pointer in the node that points to the first node in the list, right? And then we have seen that we can add item from the end, and we can delete any item in the linked list and display the linked list by moving the pointer, right? Okay, so in today's lecture we will start with the remaining part, that is the stream and classes that I have told you in the previous lecture. Input and output stream, we'll see what is input, what is output stream first, what is actually a stream is, and in computer science what we call a stream. And then IOStream class, iOS class. Within iOS class we will see formatting flags, error status bit, and file operations, different kind of file operations. Stream classes. So the question is, what is a stream? So for example, you have heard about a water stream, that is the flow of the water from one point to another point, right? So that is called a water stream. So stream in computer science is a flow of data, right? So sequence of byte. So these sequence of byte or flow of data, that is byte, are moving from one direction to another direction. This means that from one device to another device, and that is called a stream, right? In C++, a stream is represented by an object of a particular class. For example, the cin and cout stream object, cin and cout, these both are the object of istream and ostream class. So different streams are used to represent different kind of data flow. For example, if you want to perform basic I/O operation, different streams object will be used. If you want to perform a file I/O operation, then different streams will be used, right? So C in, C out are the basic for the basic I/O operations, and we have F stream that is used for the file operations. For example, the IF stream class represents the data flow from input disk file. So अभी तक हम C in C out को अभी तक यूज करते आ रहे थे. So what we do is with C in we extract from C in stream and assign the value to the left side of that extraction operator. ठीक है. So हम C in को कैसे यूज करते हैं? We write C in extraction operator the name of the variable, right? So we extract the value from C in stream using the extraction operator and write it into the variable. And C out stream we pass the string to that C out stream using the insertion operator, right? Now what is the advantage of streams? Simplicity. It provides simplicity. For example, using printf and scanf functions, there is need to specify the type of input or output, that is %d, %f, %c, etc. So whenever we write a printf statement and we want to print some kind of data, we have seen this thing in the previous course, that we must specify the type of the data which is going to be printed on the computer screen. For example, %d. Then we specify in the variable list an integer variable, right? Similarly, in the scanf function, if we want to take input some value from the user, then we must write what kind of input we are going to take. ठीक है? So हमें ये तमाम चीजें, we have to specify all those things with the %d, %f or %t and etc. In C++, there is no such formatting character in streams, since each object already know how to display itself, right? So हम C in लिखते हैं expression and we write the name of the variable. We won't specify that what is the type of the variable or what is the type of the input that should be provided by the user, right? Because the object already know that what kind of input it is expecting. And similarly, in the cout statement, we just write a stream insertion operator and the name of the variable, right? So this means that value of that variable must be inserted on cout on the ostream using a cout object, right? So there is no need to specify the type of the input or type of the variable if we are going to take input from the user or we want to display some value on the screen. So then overloading existing operators and functions. So using existing operator for a class in the same way as the built-in type, that we can overload the operators and use it in the same way as we are using the built-in data types. We have already seen this thing in the topic of operator overloading. Now IO stream class. Now IO stand for input and output operation. I/O. So I is input and O is output. Stream operations. Streams means flow of data. Input flow of data and output flow of data, right? So it represents input and output streams. So in input stream, the byte flow from a device, for example a keyboard, to a main memory. So that is the input to the system. You type in something from the keyboard, that is written into some special space in the memory that is called buffer, and that is called the input operation. That is the input stream, right? And the output stream is, in the output stream, byte flow from main memory to a device, for example display screen or a printer. That is called output. That you write some instructions and then it picks some byte from the RAM and send it to the monitor or send it to the printer, right? So it forms a stream that main memory से वो bytes move हो रही हैं screen के ऊपर या printer के ऊपर. That is a stream of data. इसी तरह से input stream है, so keyboard से bytes input हो रही हैं into and written in the main memory. So that is a stream of data, right? We have already used stream classes, that is extraction operator, greater than sign is a member of iStream class, and insertion operator, that is less than sign, is a member of ostream class. So we have already seen these stream classes, or use these stream classes to display some value on the screen or to input value from the user. So iStream and ostream are both derived from a iOS class. iOS is the base class of all the stream classes, and iStream and ostream and fstream and all such kind of classes we'll see later in today's lecture. They are all derived from iOS class, right? So iOS is considered to be a base class of all the stream classes. So this greater than operator is member because it is overloaded. This operator, greater than and less than operator, this is called right circular shift and left circular shift. Less than is left circular shift, and these both operators are basically overloaded in iStream and ostream class respectively. So they become the member of that class, right? So we can use these operator with the object of that class. And the object of iStream class is cin, and ostream class is cout. Now cout and cin. Cout object, it represents the standard output stream, which is usually monitor. That means everything we pass on to the ostream using a cout object. So we insert value of variable or a string. When we write cout less than sign, inverted quotes में हम लिख सकते हैं hello world, then we are inserting hello world string in a cout object. That means it will display that string on the screen, right? So it is predefined object of a ostream wsign class. So wsign class is basically which is derived from the ostream class. So you have a iOS class, and then ostream class that is derived from the iOS class, and then we have ostream with assign class. Okay. So ostream with assign class is the class of which cout is an object. Cout जो object है वो ostream class का object है, and that class is derived from the ostream class. Cin object, it represents standard input stream, which is usually keyboard, right? So whenever you write some character on the keyboard, it will be written in some memory location. So this means that data is flowing from a device, that is keyboard, into a computer system, and that's why it is called input stream, right? You are providing some kind of input to the computer system. So it is defined, it is predefined object of iStream class. Similarly, cout is also a predefined object. This is not possible to make another object of ostream or iStream class. So it is predefined object of iStream with sign class, which is derived from the iStream. So cin is an object of iStream class. We can say a stream cin is an object of iStream class because for cin iStream is a grandparent class, right? So cin is an object of iStream with sign class, and that is derived from the iStream class. So object of a derived class can also be considered as an object of a parent class. Header files. The two header files we have. The one header file that we have used in almost every program, that is #include. We write #include and less than sign, iostream class, and then greater than sign. So classes used for the input and output to the video display and the keyboard are declared inside the header file, that is called iostream, right? So that means ostream class definition and iStream class definition, that should be inside the iostream header file. Now fstream causes used specifically, fstream classes used specifically for disk file operation that are declared in a file. That is, if you are kind of performing a IO operation with the file, then you have to use fstream classes, right? So using the object of fstream class, you can either perform read or write operation from the or to the file. iostream class. iostream class is derived from both iStream and ostream by multiple inheritance. Okay. So iStream represents the input operation, input stream, and ostream represents the output, that is from RAM to computer display. So iostream class is derived from both iStream and ostream class, thus it is a multiple inheritance. So derived classes from it can be used, for example, for disk files that may be open for both input and output at same time, right? So fstream class that is also derived from iostream class. Now ios class, that is the base class of all the stream class usually, and it is the base class of all the stream classes, and it contains the majority of the feature to operate C++ streams. So it contains the major or the necessary feature to operate C++ standard, right? So iOS class contains most of the features के जितनी भी streams हैं C++ में, whether it is a basic IO streams or it's a file IO streams, most of the functionality are contained within iOS class, right? So three most important features of iOS class are formatting flags, error status flag, and file operation modes. So let's go through one by one from all of these three important features. Formatting flags. It is a set of flag in iOS class. So flags act as on-off switch that specify various aspects of input and output format and operation. So these flags are for the formatting operation, that how the output should be displayed, right? And we can set a flag accordingly if we want to display the output in a certain form of way, right? So there is a list of flags. You can see those lists in your book, in your textbook, that is by Robert Lefort. So flag acts as on-off switch. So if there is a flag, then for example, if we set any kind of flag, then the output is formatted accordingly, and if that flag is not set, then the output is displayed in the normal way. So all the flags can be set using setf and unset using unsetf iOS member function. So setf, set flag, and unsetf, that is unset IO flag, unset flag, these both functions are the member function of the iOS class. So this is a list of ISO formatting flag. Skip white spaces, ignore white spaces in the output, left adjust output, right adjust output, internal use padding between sign or base indicator and number, decimal convert to decimal, oct convert to octal, and hexadecimal convert to hexadecimal, bool alpha, and show base, show point, uppercase, show position, scientific, use exponential format on floating point numbers, right? Fix uses format on floating point number, and so on. So all flags are the member of iOS class, so they can be accessed using scope resolution operator. That is, we have to write iOS, then scope resolution operator, and name of the flag if we want, and we can pass that to the setf function to set that flag, and then if we want to unset that flag, we just call unsetf and pass it to the same flag. It will unset that flag. Like iOS scope resolution operator, skip ws, skip white spaces. So example, so this is an example program in which we have integer variable, floating point variable 18.0, then we display its value, then we set a flag that is show point. So with that flag, it should display the value of x in point, and scientific will convert that floating point variable into the exponential form, right? So let's see the program. Go to the program and see. So this is a floating point variable. Let's say it is 18.0. Then first we display the value of x, then we set the flag show point, then we again display the value of x. So here the value of x is a little bit different from the previous, right? Because it says that the flag says that it has to show some point, that is the point 18.0. so this point is necessary in the output. So cout then dot setf, again we set a scientific flag, then we display the value of x. When a scientific flag is set, then the value of x will be displayed in the exponential form, right? And then we unset show point flag and unset scientific flag. So this is the syntax to unset cout dot unset f. Then we display the value of x and pause. So let's compile it and run it. Sorry, compile and run it. Change the font size. So that is the output. So this is the simple value of x, then x with points, that is show point, and then 1.8 into 10 raised to power 1 e raised to power 001. So into 10 raised to power 1. So display the same thing, right? So 1.8 multiplied by 10 raised to power 1. Then display the value of x18 again, because we unset those flags that we have set previously, that these flags are show points, these flags are show point and scientific. So in this example we use show point and scientific. These two are basically the flags. So show point, what the show point did is basically, if we print the value of x over here, it will print just 18. So show point क्या करेगा कि वो ensure करेगा कि point लाजमी display हो. So it will display 18.000. ठीक है. And then scientific will convert x. So हमने अब flag set कर दिए. Scientific, it means that now whatever is printed, it will be printed in the form of e raised to power. So exponential की form में वो print होगा. So यहाँ पर x की value exponential की form में print होगी. Then we unset this flag show point and unset the flag scientific, and then print the value of x again. So यहाँ पर जो last में value x की print होगी और सबसे पहले जो हो रही है, they both should be the same. इस point पर जो x की value print होगी, that is with the decimal notation point, and here the value of x is printed in the form of exponential, that is e raised to power something, right? So let's compile this program and execute it. Now these are the values. So सबसे पहले 18 value print हो गई है. Then we use a flag show point, ठीक है, because it is 18.0, so it just print 18. That both are the same thing. So when we set a flag show point, then it must show point decimals in the number, ठीक है. So उसके बाद जो भी number आप cout में print करेंगे, once the flag is set, it will be applied to all the expression further, ठीक है. जितनी भी cout statement आ रही हैं जिसमें आप floating point value print करें, उसमें point लाजमी शो होगा जब तक आप इस flag को unset नहीं करेंगे, like this here, ठीक है. And then it prints the value of 18, value 18, that is 1.8 into 10 raised to power 1, right? That is 18. So why this is printed like this? Because you set a flag scientific. So now whatever is printed or whatever is inserted in the cout stream or the ostream object cout, it is printed in the scientific form, that is e raised to power some number. So exponential form में लिखा जाएगा. वो कब तक लिखा जाएगा? जब तक आप इस flag को unset नहीं करेंगे using a statement like this over here, ठीक है. And then after unsetting these two flags, we just print the value of x. So x की value यहाँ पर तब simple तरीके से print हो जाएगी, right? Now ISO manipulators and functions. Manipulators are formatting instructions inserted directly into a stream. Like for example end L. So हम इसको शुरू से यूज़ करते आ रहे हैं end line. So that is a manipulator. There are some manipulators where you pass some kind of integer value, ठीक है, कुछ integer value pass कर सकते हैं उसको. There are some manipulators that can take no parameters, right? So an example of a manipulator is end line, that insert a new line wherever it appears, end line appears in the O stream. So output stream में जो cout stream में जहाँ पर भी end line manipulator आएगा, it will insert new line character. For example, set width, it will set the width of the field in integer. So in integer you specify that what should be the width of that field. For example, the number of column in the screen, that is, if you specify 10, then the width of that value is 10 then, right? I will show you in the example. The other thing is a function. Function can use to set the formatting flag and perform the other task. For example, width function. So what you do is you call a function with the cout object, like cout dot width, and then specify the width, right? So these are the functions, and the manipulators, you directly insert manipulators into the stream. Let's go to the program. So for example, in that case, if I write cout, we have already seen and L manipulator, that we already know, 10. Now if I compile the program and execute it, so ये 10 स्पेसिस की इसने बना दीजिएगा, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, राइट? सो ये 10 स्पेसिस इसने यहाँ पे इंसर्ट कर दिए हैं. सो दैट इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ अ मैनिपुलेटर, राइट? सो दैट इज नॉट अ फ्लैग. दिस मीन्स दैट यू डू नॉट नीड टू सेट दैट फ्लैग वैल्यू. आपको इस फ्लैग को सेट नहीं कर सकते. जिस तरह से शो पॉइंट एक फ्लैग था, यू हैव टू सेट शो पॉइंट फ्लैग यूजिंग सेट अ फंक्शन. दैट इज अ फंक्शन इन ostream क्लास, जिसको आपने ostream के जो ऑब्जेक्ट cout है उसके साथ कॉल किया है, राइट? सो this is just a manipulator, right? So it will set the value of x like this. So ये just x पे अप्लाई होगा. इसके बाद अगर आप कोई y की वैल्यू प्रिंट करेंगे यहाँ पर किसी वेरिएबल y की, फॉर एग्जांपल, इट वोंट अप्लाई ऑन दैट वैल्यू, ठीक है? सो उस वैल्यू पे अप्लाई नहीं होगा वो. Now let's look at the iStream class. It is derived from iOS. It performs input specific activities or extraction. So we use the stream extraction operator with cin. So it will extract from the cin and assign it to the variable, right? So functions, these are the list of the functions. Some of the functions you can find the complete list in the book by Robert Lefort. So the purpose of the stream extraction operator is formatted extraction for all the basics and overloaded types. So we can overload this operator for any particular type. And then this is the function of iStream class, get ch, extract one character into ch, get str, extract character into array str until new line character. So these are basically the input functions that we can use, right? So these input functions belongs to iStream class. A complete list of such functions can be found in a book. So get function with two parameters, string and max. Max is the number, so extract up to max character into an array str. So str जो array है इसमें इतने कैरेक्टर इनपुट स्ट्रीम से एक्सट्रैक्ट करके डाल दो, ठीक है? इट मीन्स गेट str max का मतलब ये है कि इनपुट स्ट्रीम से मैक्स नंबर ऑफ कैरेक्टर रीड करके str स्ट्रिंग में राइट कर दें, राइट? So this is a small introduction of iStream class. And ostream class, it handles output or insertion activities. So we always insert or perform insertion of a string or a value of a variable that we want to print on the screen. We insert all those things or perform insertion operation with the cout object, ठीक है? So हम लिखते हैं cout less than sign and then the stream that we want to insert, ठीक है? The things that we want to insert on cout object. So whatever is inserted on output stream, it will be displayed on the standard output device, that is monitor. So less than sign is the formatted insertion for all the basics and overloaded types. Now these are the functions: push ch, insert character ch into a stream, put ch, sorry. So it put a character ch into the output stream. Flush buffer contents and insert new line. Write. So write from str the size number of characters into ostream, that is the output stream. So this means that it will print whatever is in the str. कितने उसके बाइट्स प्रिंट करेगा, साइज नंबर ऑफ बाइट प्रिंट करेगा str के, कहाँ पर प्रिंट करेगा, स्क्रीन पर प्रिंट करेगा राइट फंक्शन, बिकॉज राइट फंक्शन जो है वो str के साइज नंबर ऑफ बाइट्स को राइट करेगा आउटपुट स्ट्रीम में, दैट विल इवेंचुअली डिस्प्ले इट ऑन द कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन. प्री डिफाइंड स्ट्रीम ऑब्जेक्ट्स. So cin, cout, these are the predefined stream objects. Cin is an object of a istream class, and cout is an object of a ostream class, and these are the predefined objects, and we are using these objects since the beginning of the course. So whatever we are inserting in the cout object, it will be displayed on the screen, and cin is used to perform the input operation because it will read from the input stream and write it into the variable जो हमने यहाँ पर specify करेंगे इस जगह पर उस variable में write कर देगा. Then we have cerr, an object of ostream with sign class. So ostream with sign class hierarchy में हमारे पास इस तरह से आ रही है. सबसे पहले हमारे पास ios class है, then we have a ostream with sign class, right, and istream with sign class. So let me say it again. So iOS सबसे पहले हमारे पास base class है, and then we have istream class and ostream class, and ostream with sign class is derived from a ostream class, and istream with sign class is derived from a istream class. And basically cin and cout are the object of istream with sign and ostream with sign respectively. ठीक है. तो cin जो ऑब्जेक्ट है वो istream with sign class का है. दैट मीन्स जो istream class है that is its the grand parent class, you can say, right. So istream class that is parent class of istream with sign class, istream underscore with sign class की parent class है istream class, and the object of istream underscore with sign class are also considered as an object of a istream class. Similarly, ostream class is an object of a ostream underscore with sign class, and ostream with sign underscore with sign class is derived from the ostream class. So we can say that cout is also an object of a ostream class. So cerr is an object of ostream with sign class, and that is to display the error message. Now what is the difference between the cout and cerr is that it display output immediately rather than being buffered as cout is. So cout के through आप जो भी display करती हैं that will be put into the buffer and it will be displayed accordingly one by one. ठीक है. cerr को हम buffer में नहीं रखते. Whatever is inserted in the cerr object, it will not be buffered, rather it will directly display it on the priority basis onto the computer screen. Then we have another predefined object, that is clog object, an object of ostream underscore with sign class, and that is for the log messages. That is, so it doesn't write anything on the output, it doesn't write anything on the computer screen. Where it write it into the file, into the buffer, right. So whatever happening in the program, you write all those messages inside the buffer or the file, then you can read that file to check where the error could be, right. So these are all the predefined object. And now stream errors. So the statement like the shown in the box, first is display the message cout, enter a number, then cin, we take the input in a variable var. So this approach assumes that nothing will go wrong during the IO process. So all the things will be perfectly fine, but that is not always the case. So what happens if the user enters string 9 instead of integer 9? So input जो var की जो type है, that is integer. So the compiler is expecting that the user should input an integer value so that it will assign that integer value to the var variable. But if the user input value that is not an integer, for example string nine, then what happened with that assignment because now 9 is the character and var is the integer variable. Now how that assignment could be applied? So at this point it should rather provide give a message to the user that the type of the input is not valid, right? So error status bit. So stream error status flag reports error that occur in an input and output operation. So these are the error status bit. Good bit, that means no error. End of file bit, reach end of file. Fail bit, operation fail, user error or premature EOF. EOF is end of file, right? So bad bit, invalid operation, not associated, stream buffer, and hard fail, unrecoverable error, right? So let's see an example of inputting a number. So in that example we ask the user to input a number, then we check that if there is any error while the input, that is we validate the input, and if that is not a number, then we ask the user to input again. So that is the program. So we have while one loop. So this means it will always ask the user to input an integer until the user input a valid integer. So when a valid integer is input, then cin.good. So good, if we go back, so good bit means no error, right? So this means that there is no error in cin, that is in input stream, I stream. इसमें कोई error नहीं है because जो value user ने input की थी, that is an integer value, right? So then we remove new line character at the end of the input and break the loop. Loop को break कर देंगे, तो break होगा, this while loop exit and the control comes outside the loop. And here let's say we display the value of that variable, I is equal to I and line, right? And then if it is not an integer, then the control will come over here, it will clear the bit error, display the message, the incorrect input, and remove the new line character from the output, from the input. जो भी input आपने किया था उसमें से new line character को it will remove it, right? Why it should remove it? Because so that जो next जो वो input लेना चाह रहा है, that is also a character. If the new line character is there, it reads the integer value, but the new line character is there in the buffer, input buffer, and then when it asks again to input some kind of some integers, so it read that new line character from the input buffer and won't wait for the user to input any number, right? So let's say if I run this without this last line scene dot ignore, इसके बगैर अगर इसको रन करके देखें, then it will not prompt the user at this point to input some value, right? Because in the buffer the new line character is already present and it will read that character as an integer and continue, right? So this will happen in every iteration. So now I comment out these things and it will form an infinite loop. So let's compile it and execute it. Let me change the screen size. Okay, so integer value, enter an integer value. Let's say we input 12, I is equal to 12, press any key to continue. So now there is no error here, so this good function returns true, value true, and we remove the new line character from the integer, and then we call a break statement. It will break the execution of the loop, control will come over here, it will print the value of I, and then system pause, right? Now if we compile it again, and now this time I input a character and press enter key. Now this starts infinite loop. I have to press Control C key to end this process, right? So why this is? Because we haven't removed new line from the end of the input, and this means that every time वो next iteration may be input, because input complete कब होगी? When the new line character is present in the buffer, right? That is the point where the input is completed. If the new line character is already present in the input buffer, this means that the compiler assumes that the input has already been complete and it reads that input value. Now if I compile this program and execute it, if I input integer value e, it said that input is incorrect input. Now it won't make infinite loop because we removed the new line character from the end. Right? Now let's come to the very important topic, that is the disk file I/O with streams. So in C, in the previous course, that is when we are learning C, we have seen that we perform the disk I/O operation, all the operations, for example writing characters, writing a formatted text, numbers, and the binary input and output. We perform all these operations using a function, but in C++ we perform all these operations using stream. So disk I/O streams are IF stream for input, F stream for both input and output. IF is the input file stream and OF stream is for the output, right? So these classes are declared in F stream header file. So this means that whenever we create an object of a IF stream class, we can perform input operation on a file, and we have to declare F stream class or include F stream class before that. ठीक है, तो हमें F stream class पहले include करवानी है किसी भी इन classes को IF stream या F stream या OF stream class को use करते हुए. ठीक है, so input is basically the read operation from the file. You perform a read operation from the file, and output is you write something in the file. That is the output operation. Okay? So input is a read, that is you are reading something from the file in your program, input to your program, and output is your program is writing something on the file. That is the output operation, that is the write operation. So object of these classes can be associated with disk file that use member function to read and write to files. So हम कोई object बना देंगे इन्हीं classes के, and we associate these object with the file, and that is a file opening operation, right? And then using those objects we can call a member function of a class to perform read and write operation on those classes. Okay? Now formatted file I/O. In a formatted I/O, numbers are stored on disk as a series of character, right? So everything that you write on a formatted I/O, everything stored in the file in the form of a character, whether it is integer, whether it is float, double, long, any kind of value that is stored inside the file in a form of character. For example, 896.026, so that is a floating point value, so it takes 7 bytes instead of 4 bytes. So that is the major drawback of using a formatted file I/O, because everything is stored in the form of character, and if we want to file very large numbers in a file, then using a formatted file is not a preferable or efficient approach. Then we must go for the binary I/O operation. So this is inefficient for for numbers with many digits, right? So ऐसे numbers जो आपने write करनी है and they consist of a large, they are very large numbers, then instead of कि वो number जो हैं वो या digits जो हैं या integer 4 bytes लेंगे, they will occupy maybe more bytes because they are larger, they contains more than 4 digits, let's say, right? So but it is easy to implement, right? So for example, if you have an integer value 4967880, so 6 integers, and it will take 6 bytes in memory, but in a formatted file I/O, but in a binary file I/O it will take only 4 bytes in memory. So that's why it is sort of inefficient approach if we want to store a large number in a file. Now writing data in a file, we can write characters, integer, double and string to a disk file. So we create an object. So writing के लिए, that is the output operation. You are writing something from your program into a file. So you create an object out file, the object of ostream class, output file stream class का object एक नया output file. The name of the file is fdata.txt. It will create fdata.txt file and open that file. Now using out file object, you can perform read write operation in the file, because we create an object of ostream, that is the output file stream. So we can only perform now output operation using out file object that is associated with fdata.txt file. So if we want to write something in the file, we just insert that thing in output file. For example, हमने ch एक character है, उसकी value write करवानी है, so we use insertion operator and insert the value of ch in out file stream. So what it does, it will write that value in fdata.txt file. Let's go to the program and see in more detail. So that is the program. We have a character, we have an integer value, we have a double, right, and then we have a string 1 and string 2, right, hello world, hello and world. Then we create an object out file, that is an object of ostream class, and we associate it with a file fdata.txt. Now we start writing inside the file. That is, it's same as if you are writing to the ostream, right? आप cout object को पे write करना basically insertion operator use करके उन तमाम values को insert कर रहे होते हैं, cout object को assign कर रहे होते हैं, and that is an object of ostream class, and what it will does, everything that is written on that stream, it will display it on the monitor. So everything that we write on the out file, it will display, it will write that thing in the file. ठीक है, किस फाइल में लिखेगा? जो फाइल इसके साथ आपने एसोसिएट की है. सो इन द स्टेटमेंट above we have associated fdata.txt file. If that file is not present in the directory where we have saved this file, it will create that file, and using that object we can write anything, character, integer, float, string, whatever value in that file using that object, right? So we use stream insertion operator. So this is a space character and other space character, right? So if I compile this program and execute it, so it displays the message that file is successfully written, but let me change the font size so that it is visible. Okay, so file written, this means that file is written successfully. And if we go to the file, to that directory, and this is the file x77 space 6.02. So x77 space 6.02 hello space world. So all those things are written over here, right? Okay, so that is how we can perform a write operation in a formatted file. ठीक है, जिसमें तमाम के तमाम चीज़ों को as a integer treat किया जाता है, whether they are in character, integers, double, float or strings. Reading data from a file. So for that we use we have to create an object ifstream. The name of that object is in file. जिस name से मर्जी बनाना चाहे बना सकते हैं, and we associate that object with the fdata.txt file, the same file जिसको हमने previously जिसमें हमने data write किया था. Now we create another object in file, and that in file is an object of ifstream file. This means that inf object in file object के through we can perform read operation from the file. We can read the content of the file, right? So the file is opened when the object is created, so we can then read from it using the extraction operator. So we can use in file and then extraction operator, then the name of the variable where it should write the name, the value of that variable. ठीक है, कहाँ से रीड करेगा? फाइल से रीड करेगा वैल्यू और उस वेरिएबल में राइट कर देगा. वेरिएबल में राइट करने का मतलब ये है कि वो मेमोरी लोकेशन जो वेरिएबल के लिए एलोकेट होते हैं वहाँ पर वो राइट कर देगा. सो विद दैट ऑपरेशन नाउ वी नो कि सबसे पहले जो वैल्यू हमने स्टोर की थी फाइल में, दैट इज़ अ कैरेक्टर वैल्यू एंड देन द इंटीजर वैल्यू एंड देन अ फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट, स्ट्रिंग एंड स्ट्रिंग, राइट. सो वी नो द फॉर्मेट ऑफ द फाइल कि किस तरतीब से रिकॉर्ड स्टोर हुए वहाँ पर, राइट. So then we read it. So it read from the in file. The first read value is the character, then integer, then floating point value, then a string, then a string, right. So let's go to the program. So that is the program. So this is the write operation. This is the write operation. So there's one more question. As in C, whenever we open the file in read or write mode, whatever, then after the program exit we must close the file as well. ठीक है, this is the point where I emphasize a lot कि हमने फाइल को लाजमी close करना है. But here in C++ there is no need to close the file, because whenever that object goes out of scope, the destructor will be called for that object, and this is that we close the file, right. So जब मेन फंक्शन एग्जिट होगा, ये फंक्शन इस ऑब्जेक्ट का स्कोप खत्म होगा, डिस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा एंड ऑटोमेटिकली that destructor will close that file, right. Now here we create these character, integer and a double and then string 1 and string 2 object. ठीक है, हमने ये तमाम वेरिएबल्स बना दिए बिकॉज वी नो कि जो फाइल में डाटा था वो किस फॉर्मेटिंग से पड़ा हुआ था, बिकॉज हमने इसको राइट किया है, वी नो द फॉर्मेटिंग. सो एफ स्ट्रीम का एक ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया in file associated with fdata.txt, and that file is already present, this file. So that is the record written in that file, and then you read one line from that file. So f in file से read किया, first value it should assign it to ch, second value to j, third value to d, fourth value to str1 and fifth value to str2, right. So for to reading from the formatted file, you must know the what is the format of that file. एक लाइन का फॉर्मेट क्या है, कौन सी इंटीजर वैल्यू स्टोर हुई है, कहाँ पर कैरेक्टर वैल्यू है, कहाँ पर फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट वैल्यू है, एंड देन वी डिस्प्ले दोज वैल्यूज. ठीक है, हमने इसको डिस्प्ले भी कर दिया. ओके, नाउ लेट्स कंपाइल इट एंड एग्जीक्यूट इट. So it prints all those values and they are the exactly same as we have written in that file, right. x77 6.02 hello world, right. So this is how we can perform the reading operation from the formatted IO file. Now what about the string with embedded blanks? Can we perform the same operation, that is, can we write a string with embedded blanks in that file? अगर हमारे पास string है, हमने last example में देखा we can write a string, but can we write a multi-word string using the same mechanism of writing in the file as we have seen one slide back? So for example, if I go back into the writing data and go to the program and write it world write the word xyz. ठीक है, कुछ xyz लिखते हैं हमने यहाँ पर. So now when I compile the program and execute it, so it file written, press any key to continue. So if I go to the file, you can see that it write hello and then world and then space xyz. Now let's see whether the read program is able to read that string or not in string 2. no, it is not possible to read a multi-word string, ठीक है, using the same operation. इस operation के through a multi-word string read नहीं कर सकते from the file. So such read operation would not work with string having blank spaces. To handle such string, we specify delimiter character after each string must be written. हर स्ट्रिंग जो फाइल में लिखना चाह रही हैं उसके बाद एक डेलीमीटर कैरेक्टर, लेट्स से न्यू लाइन कैरेक्टर इंसर्ट कर देते हैं, एंड देन यूजेस गेट लाइन फंक्शन rather than the extraction operator to perform a read operation. So read operation get line के थ्रू करेंगे, ठीक है, in which we can specify the length of the input. So such scheme quite require that all lines in the file terminate at null character. ठीक है, सो हर लाइन जो है फाइल की वो नल कैरेक्टर पर टर्मिनेट हो रही, दैट इज रिक्वायरमेंट. डू नॉट वर्क विद रैंडम टेक्स्ट फाइल, बिकॉज रैंडम टेक्स्ट फाइल में हमारे पास कुछ इंटीजर वैल्यू पहले आ सकती है, देन टेक्स्ट वैल्यू आ सकती है, राइट. सो डेटा उसमें रैंडमली अरेंज हो सकता है, so it won't work there. So it will work if we exactly know what is the location of a string and a floating point value and a multi-word string, right, all those things. So let's go to the program and check. So this is a write operation. So here I use a conditional compilation. Conditional compilation use किया if defined write. So let's define write. If defined write, it will execute all these statements, and then in the else part it won't execute these statements. Why? Because the write is already defined. If define write is defined, so it will only execute this part but not this part, ठीक है. So let's compile it, execute it. So display the message file writing, press any key to continue. Let me change the screen size. Okay, now if I just comment this hash define write, अगर इसको comment out कर दें, अब now this becomes false because write is not defined, then it execute this part, right. So let's compile it, close and execute it. So it write all those lines that we have written over here, ठीक है. Detecting end of file. So end of file को आप दो तरीके से डिटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. The one is not in file.uf. If we go back here in the program, so we can have here .eof. Okay, so the output will be same, right. So if we just write even the simple stream object, the output will be the same, right. So let's go back to the slide. So we can use either not in file.eof or we can use while in file. So it will check the stream object directly. In the second while loop, it will check the stream object directly, and it check for any character condition, any error condition, including end of file. So end of file में भी वो error occur हो जाएगा. So अगर error occur हो जाएगा, it will returns false. ठीक है? So that is the end of our 31st lecture. So in today's lecture, we have seen different streams and classes. So in the next lecture, we will continue with the file operation. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.